Hello everyone, today I'd like to talk about the album Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about it is it's been 30 years since this album first came out. 30 years, to me, it felt like just yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but a few years back or something. I mean, this is the album that one of the rarest times that I bought an album like this where it's a current artist, current album that was released at that time, and it wasn't a compilation album. Now, if you know me from my previous videos, I'm all about compilation albums. Just waiting for artists to release a compilation album, and I just get it from there. Or if it would be albums, like official albums, it would usually be like more of an oldies, or kind of like I would get Beatles albums, Stones albums, something like that. But artists, especially at that time, growing up, I would either listen to it, tape it, or something like that, and then just wait it out until maybe a greatest hits would come out. But this album really impressed me. I've heard it. The first song from Alanis, really, when I first heard her, was Hand in My Pocket. When that song came out, top 40 radio, it was just played nonstop. Now, that was the first time I've heard of the name Alanis Morissette, and I didn't even know she already was making music before that. I mean, she already released, I think, a couple albums before this one. When I first heard of her, I always thought that was her debut song, her debut album, or something like that. So I did not know at that time, and she was really new to me. And she had other songs that were popular on here, but I think they were more on the alternative rock stations that I may have it on, save as a preset, but rarely turn on to switch to that station. But anyway, Hand in My Pocket. When I first heard of it, it's unique. It was unique. I wasn't really into it per se, but I didn't hate it or anything like that. But it did catch my ear, and the name caught my ear as well. It wasn't until Ironic was like, okay. Now, at that time when Ironic came out, I absolutely loved that song. The video too. When you see the music video. I think is one of those times where when I actually was able to watch MTV or maybe VH1 at that time, I was kind of hoping they would play Ironic, because I absolutely love the video and the song. But to get to my point, it's after those two songs that I think You Learn, You Ought to Know, songs like that started to come on, I started to hear. And it's all from Alanis Morissette, and it's all from this fantastic album. I had a buddy that had the cassette of this, so I borrowed it, and I think I kind of dubbed it a bit. I dubbed it to another tape so I could listen. Although back then, when I was dubbing especially from a tape to tape, the quality sucked, and sometimes there would always be a skip here or there. I don't know why. My tape player recorder was probably pretty crappy back then. So, but anyway, after a year or so this came out, I mean, she was super popular, and this album was, I think it won quite a few. She won quite a few Grammys for this album, and rightfully so. That's when I actually had enough money. I saved up and went for it. I actually bought this album. Now, I know it wasn't when it first came out. It was like a year or so after. But still, it's for me to save up money back then and buy an album from a relatively new artist, and that with an album that's current at the time, will tell you that I really, really love this album. Now, after 30 years, I went back and just listened to this album again, replayed the whole thing multiple times, and for the past, I'd say, month or so. And this album really holds up well. I mean, what makes this album great besides the music is it's just at that time, especially as a kid listening to this, first hearing this whole album, it's absolutely pure rawness. The raw, there's a lot of, it feels so real, like realism. It's because it's just raw. It's like at that time, I think it's like post grunge, or grunge was winding down, and it has a feel to it. Majority of her songs, but yet it's not grunge sounding or anything like that. It's just more of a more of a rock feel, rock album with some popish stuff in there. And that's the thing. It's just the rawness. It's almost like from all her music on this album, if you listen to the lyrics and everything like that, it almost feels like it's a confessional, right? She's just literally talking about all her experiences, all her, thoughts and so forth. Just letting it all hang out, just out there. And that's what I feel made this album not only great, but very unique, because I don't ever recall, even back then, an artist, let alone a female artist, to basically write music that is like this raw, all about emotions, all her thoughts and so forth, and just let it all out. And yes, there are artists before her that, that would write music and so forth, talking about relationships, things like that. Yeah, that's been done, but not like this, or at least I don't know of that came before her that would do it like this, that has that rawness. And what I mean by rawness, I'm talking about like it's in your face. There's no like when people like write lyrics to music and so forth, they're doing a few things to it, right? To express. And sometimes they're doing it to hide the actual, like a double entendre or something like that. Or they're the lyrics, the words and so forth have a slight, there's some smoothness to it or softness to it, to not being direct as how she would have done. Now, to give an example, the song, was it called Right Through You, I think? I mean, I'm going to paraphrase some of those lyrics, but I remember when I first heard it, I was like, damn, it's literally in your face. And she would say something like, you took me as a joke, you took me as a child, you took a long look at my ass, and then you played golf. You wine me, you dine me, and 69 me. I mean, damn. I mean, she's just singing lyrics like that. I mean, that's just, I don't think I've ever heard anything, and every song is kind of like that. Now, it may not be the same subject matter or anything like that, but it's just literally raw in your face. And that's why, and since this album came out, I know Alanis Morissette made several albums afterwards, excluding compilation or like acoustic live albums or anything like that. And I'm sure she had similar content, similar material, similar lyricism and so forth. But to be honest, her album that followed up on this, I don't recall the actual name. She likes to have her album names be kind of unique to a point where it's hard for me to remember. I think it was called Junkie or something like that, some infatuated junkie. That was her follow-up album to this, and I think that was pretty popular at the time that came out. I think Thank You was her hit song from there. Now, when I heard Thank You, I was like, man, it was okay. It wasn't, nothing like compared to anything on this album. The only thing, I don't even remember the lyrics to that. I just knew it was a popular song because the music video came out a lot. And I remember watching the video, and the only thing I remember about Thank You was that she was pretty much naked in the entire video. I think it was Thank You. So, and then she may have another song after that on that Junkie album. But it never hit me as this album. And from here on out, I never really got any Alanis Morissette albums, even her greatest hits. Mainly because to me this is like her greatest hits. This is all you need. Now I know a lot. Some of you, if you're a Alanis Morissette fan or something like that, would like trash me. That's fine. But anyway, go ahead and getting back. Even after this album, I don't recall an artist like her in the pop space that would have music with lyricism like this, like absolute raw in your face. You know, a it's almost like it's her diary. It's literally each song in there is like a chapter in her diary. It's just absolutely amazing what she did on this album. And again, it's not the lyricism alone that really impressed me. It's the music too. It's great. I mean, it's something like it's very catchy. If there's no good melodies, good hooks, or anything like that, if the music itself isn't all that good, but you can have great lyrics, I probably wouldn't be into it. And this has everything, really everything. And again, listening today, this holds up really well, if not better in some aspects. And a lot of the stuff that she talks about on this album still applies today. I mean, you literally she could just put this album, remake this album, erase this album from 30 years ago, and then so no one knows about it, and just put this album out today, and it still would resonate. And I'm pretty sure it'd still be as popular as it was back then. I mean, that's how good this album was. And ironically, the song "Ironic" that I absolutely love, that got me into Alanis Morissette, to me, that's probably a song that if I've been listening to it, that to me seems a little weaker than what I thought it was. I don't know why. I guess my music things change, from here and there, but it's still a good song. But I just, ironically, I think that Ironic song doesn't hold up as well as the others today. That's all. But it's still a good song, hands down, no matter what. So, anyway, just wanted to bring up Alanis Morissette, what I thought about her album, and 30 years, wow, 30 years today. Not today, but this year, 30 years. And it's still one of the best albums ever put out, regardless of gender, things like that. It's literally a must-have, must-listen. If you have never listened to this front to back, you must. It's very impressive. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you. Bye.